Hello everyone. This is Paukshte Fashion Workshop. I remind you that we post new videos every day. I also want to remind you that some of my video courses are already available. Buy them if you haven't done it yet. I would really appreciate your support. Today I'd like to show you an interesting skirt. Nowadays, you can see a wide variety of skirt designs in fashion magazines. I want us ladies to be stylish. I've recently shown you how to make an asymmetric skirt with a flounce. Today I'm going to show you how to make a skirt with draping. Have a look at the sketch. There can be three different variants for this skirt. The first one is when the draping is in the center front. In this case, the flounce would rise in the center front. The second variant is when the draping is above the left knee, and the flounce is also rising above the knee. Just as it is in the sketch, pay attention to the flounce. It's even. It's just pulled and slightly raised at the draping. It makes the skirt look asymmetric. The third variant is when the draping is located in the side seam. The frill would also rise on the side seam in this case. You can make a bow here, for example. It's better just to sew a bow to this point, but not to pull the fabric together by the lace and tie it. I'll show you how to make the draping. I'll show you a lot of useful techniques and details when working with this skirt. Get ready for hard work. I'll show you how to make a pattern for this skirt, how to cut and take it. I'll also show you how to make the draping. The total length of the skirt is 75 centimeters, from the top down to the very bottom. The length of the flounce is 25 centimeters. The upper part of the skirt will be 50 centimeters long. As I've said, the flounce is even. It should be cut straight. I've already shown you this sketch, and next I want to show you the fabric. It's coffee colored. The draping made of this fabric would look very good. I thought of making a double frill, but it would be too thick in this case. I've decided to make a one-layer flounce with a Nova cast. I also need to add 4 cm to the bottom, 3 cm for a Nova cast and 1 cm for the seam allowance. So basically, I need to cut a flounce which is 29 cm long. What about the width of the flounce? Let's have a pattern. These are the front and the back details. This is the bottom. The skirt will be tighter at the bottom. It should be close-fitting. Otherwise, the draping wouldn't look good. The width of the skirt at the bottom is about 50 centimeters. That makes 1 meter in total. The width of the frill should be twice as large. I'd like to make a very flat frill. So basically, I need to cut the detail, which is 29 centimeters long and 2 meters wide. Let's start working with the pattern. I can move the sketch aside. The back of the skirt is very simple. I don't need to change it. This is the front of the skirt. First, I need to make sure that this is the right side. Be very attentive. This is the center front. If you make draping in the center front, you should cut the pattern according to this line. In this case, you can work with just one side of the front. You can also make draping in the side seam. In my case, the draping will be placed 12 centimeters away from the center front. On the left side. I've signed the right side in the detail, and I've drawn the line for making the draping. If there are waist tucks here in your patterns, move them to the draping. It's not hard to do it. There are no tucks in my pattern. My body is perfect, pretty square. I can cut the details now. I don't want to waste time cutting the fabric for the draping now. I'll do it right on fabric. I can move the back, the sketch aside. Let's get down to work with the pattern. I think that it would be too complicated to cut the pattern first and then apply it to the fabric. Have a look here. I put the fabric on the table face up, and the pattern on the fabric face up as well. When cutting the back, I'll fold the fabric in half as usual. But now, when cutting the front, I need to do it this way. Please be very attentive. In my case, the draping ratio will be 1.7 or 1.8. You can make it bigger if you want, but I think that it would be too much. This detail is 50 centimeters long. I think that I'll add 40 more centimeters. The total measurement will be 90 centimeters. You can extend the pattern more or less. It's up to you. You can change the design however you want. I need to cut the pattern in order to extend it. Watch the way I'm doing it. Notice that I don't measure or calculate anything. I'm cutting the details by sight. Notice that I do not make cuts in the upper part of the skirt, up from the hip line. I need to pin the pattern in such a way that this detail is 90 centimeters long. This is absolutely the same pattern. The skirt would fit me just like it was in the original one. 90 centimeters. Perfect. I need to pin the edges and then distribute the other details evenly. Do not forget to mark the side seam. This distance should be even in the second detail. This is very important. When I pin the details, I'll measure them once again. "88 centimeters. I'm not going to detach the pattern and pin it once again. I'll just make the second one 88 centimeters long. I'm not going to cut the upper part of the skirt in this detail as well. Be very attentive, please. You can count the number of the cuts in the first detail and make as many cuts in the second one. I think that it's a waste of time. This is not a mock-up. The fabric is of a high quality. I'm sure that the skirt will look great. I can't wait to try the skirt on. I still need to decide what to wear it with. Have a look here. I need to pin the detail and distribute the openings evenly. I remind you that these details should be 88 centimeters long. When I make sure that this detail is 88 centimeters long, I'll pin the edges and then distribute the other openings. 93 centimeters. Too much. Make sure that you have enough fabric for the seam allowance. I need to move it a bit more. Notice that I'm not doing anything off the camera. I show you the whole process. I need to move the pattern a bit. There is not enough space for the seam allowance here. I need to check if the length is accurate once again. I want the skirt to be very beautiful. This is where the last edge should be pinned. I'm measuring down from this point. I prefer to work on the basis of the basic patterns. Garments made this way always fit me well. You know that I love working with patterns. I want you to learn to be creative as well. That's all for today. Next time I'll show you how to cut the details. And then we'll continue working with this skirt. My name is Irina Paukshte. Buy my courses, subscribe to my channel, write comments, share the videos, press like and the bell buttons. I would really appreciate your support. Thank you. Goodbye.